Hey, good morning, folks. How are we doing today? It's another episode of On the Road with Jim, sponsored in part by the good folks in Cuba, Missouri, and Miss Connie Eccles at the historic Wagon Wheel Motel in Cuba, Missouri. Today I'm coming to you from Dunton Motors Dream Machines in Kingman, Arizona. Dunton Motors has been here since 1946. It's a one family owned business. Started out as Taylor Owen Ford and then was bought by N.R. Dunton. And currently it is a classic vehicle museum, restoration shop, and sales center. The Dunton family has a long association with Route 66, going back more than 90 years. N.R. Dunton had a garage in Gold Road, Arizona. He was the fellow who built Cool Springs. For those of the Route 66 fans might know about that. Good morning, Angie. But today I'm going to talk to you a little bit on the road with Jim. We're going to talk automobiles. Good morning, Wolfgang. This little Jim right here, you know, I lean towards the 1930s. I know a lot of folks are into muscle cars, and God bless, nothing wrong with them. But for me, sheer styling, artistry, can't beat the 1930s cars. This is a 1931 REO coupe, and my pa always told me better to fill your head with useless knowledge than no knowledge at all. The REO stands for Ransom E. Olds, the fellow behind Oldsmobile. And it's a long, complicated story. But suffice to say, Ransom E. Olds lost control of his company, Oldsmobile, and the use of his name, the Olds name. So he started another company, REO. And these were extraordinary automobiles, rock solid. Very durable, strong, powerful, expensive, but just truly beautiful cars. You have little things like little tiny crest here, REO. You have a golf bag door on the other side of the car. On the passenger side of the automobile, when you open the door, a little light will come on, say illuminating the running board. Big 6-cylinder engines, the reverse doors, window shade in the back. Just beautiful, beautiful cars. And these are great road cars. This little gem here is a near perfect blending of the old and the new. If you want a vintage car and you want one that you can drive, keep up with modern traffic, that's fun, durable, dependable, you cannot go wrong with a Chrysler or DeSoto Airflow. They're not cheap. They're rare. Yes, Angie, Cord, Auburn, and Duesenberg's wonderful cars. The Chrysler Airflow, and I'll be sharing a little bit of this later on our website and Facebook page. I'll post some videos from the 1930s when these cars came out. They weren't well received because the styling was quite radical from anything else on the road, and they were a little bit expensive, to say the very least. But they were just amazing. These cars mechanically are probably equal to most cars built up into the 1960s. They were pretty decent on gas if you got a 3-speed with overdrive. They performed some just insane promotional stunts with these cars. And I'll be sharing those videos a little bit later. Let me just, let's do this. Let me give you a little bit of a display here of what we're talking about and working with. Well, extraordinary automobiles. Just beautiful cars, well engineered. They were powerful, they were fast. I'm going to show you the Rio here. rumble seat coupe. Back window you can see rolls down. Golf bag door. And take a look right here, down at the bottom. When you open the door, this little light comes on, illuminating the running board. Pure class. I've always been a fan of vintage cars, and my initial writing was on the American auto industry, 1885 to 1940, and now I've started writing again for Motoring NZ, and we'll be writing more and more about these cars, the history behind them, the performance, the men behind the cars is one of the things I'll be focusing on a lot in coming weeks, coming months on articles from Motoring NZ. Hope you can join me for those adventures. I want to thank you this morning for joining me for just a short episode of On the Road with Jim. And wanted to share with you a little bit. Dunton Motors, like I say, is next door to Mr. D's Route 66 Diner in Kingman, Arizona. And they restore cars, they display cars, they sell cars, and they are a small auto museum. They're also home to the Route 66 Association of Kingman, and they have on display one of the models from Willem Bohr, the acclaimed Dutch artist. So it's quite a little stop. So if you're down here at Kingman, Arizona, on Route 66, stop in, say howdy, take a look at the cars, and maybe find something to take home with you. I want to thank you for joining me this morning, and stay tuned for more adventures with On the Road with Jim. Take care, my friends.